on the News Channel 5 network. This is the plus side of Nashville.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Tawanda Coleman. Thanks for joining us. You know, it's tough to imagine what it must be like for a parent to watch their child endure 7 surgeries before the age of 6. But that is the case for the Roche family. We'll hear their remarkable story, meet the brave and inspiring 5-year-old who brings so much joy to her family, and we'll tell you about a way you can help her and other sick children in our community. That's later and in the second half of our show. But we're starting things off today with an organization that honors and provides services to our veterans, and that is Operation Stand Down Tennessee. Joining me is Mary Ross and J.C. Smith. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you both here. So many people know Operation Stand Down is Operation Stand Down, but now you've had a slight name change. I would love, Mary, if you could tell us why you felt that it was important to change to Operation Stand Down Tennessee.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we have been Operation Stand Down Nashville for over 20-something years. And we've really kind of focused our efforts right here in Davidson County and in some of the surrounding counties because part of that was grant driven, but part of it was just because of ease. You know, we could access the other agencies, we could access what other services might be available that we could tap into. But this, of course, is not the only place in Tennessee that has veterans, and there are lots of other communities that have great needs. And we've been asked over and over again to expand our services, like to do startups in other communities. And we've kind of rejected that because we do feel strongly that the organization needs to fit the community. Mm-hmm. But we started doing outreach in the Clarksville area, Montgomery County area, in their career center, going up 1 or 2 days a week, but the need was just overwhelming. So we said, okay, we'll start looking at the possibility of opening an office there because the need was so great. And then we've also been asked by like Rutherford County and a few of the other counties that, well, can you come in and do something like what you're doing in Nashville in our county? So we're looking at expanding it. So when we were looking at our name, it just restricted us to Nashville. You know, of course, people would call us and say, well, you know, what's available here, what's available there, and we would say, well, just come on in. We'll, you know, we don't care where you're from. But this just allows us to expand that scope and to look at the growth that we want for the organization. You know, of course, we're really very partial to what we have here, but if we can take this and move it into the other communities and have those communities buy into it, then it can just blossom all over the state to where the veterans who are in Tennessee are receiving the best services that they can get.
Okay. You guys do a great job of that, too. And although the name is slightly changed, your mission is still the same.
The mission is still the same.
Yes.
Our mission has always been to serve the veterans, to empower the veterans so that they can have the lives that they want, that they have earned, you know, through their service. And it's really not about handouts. It's about empowerment. I want to give you the tools.
Exactly. So many of our servicemen and women, once they get out and they're trying to make that transition from the military life that they've led for many, many years over to the civilian life, they have some difficulties in certain areas. And you all have basically tapped into those areas and are there for those veterans. And I know you're excited. You've touched a little bit on it, Mary, the fact that, you know, some people were contacting you. You felt the need to expand your services, didn't you, J.C.?
Oh, yes.
And talk about some of the new services that you're offering out to those veterans.
Well, you know, it's as long as I've been there, we've gotten calls from all over the country. And perception is kind of reality. When you're Operation Stand Down Nashville, most people think that that's the limit of what you do is Nashville. Yet the majority of the veterans in this Middle Tennessee area are rural, not in Nashville. And so we had to meet their needs. I like to think we're kind of the Baskin Robbins of veteran services. Because, I mean, most agencies, they're kind of one-trick ponies. And there have been a plethora of veterans organizations pop up in the last 10 years or so. Some are quite reputable and fantastic agencies and purposes and missions.
Yeah.
Some are just there to do what they do. And I can't get into that because that'll be a whole new program.
Don't go there.
All right, I'll calm down a little bit. But yeah, we try to expand our services to meet the needs. And the needs are so much different now than they were when I first started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The clientele is much younger. When I first started 10 years ago, the average client was a Vietnam veteran, 55 years old, black, male.
Yeah.
Today, the average client, well, they're still the average client, but the percentage has gone down drastically. It used to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 75–80%. Now it's probably around 50%, where it's Vietnam veterans. And now we have everything in between, including up to today's Afghanistan veteran, and we're starting to see them coming in.
Right.
But the Gulf War veteran is the main issue that we deal with, and the main reason why we've changed so much as well. With the recognition of the symptoms of PTSD, anxieties, the ways that the newer, younger soldiers learn to cope and or adapt back to civilian life has really given us the motivation to build on what we already knew. As old veterans ourselves, we already knew that the transition would be difficult.
Okay, speak for yourself, old.
Yeah, speak
Older.
for yourself,
I did say
Jess.
older, did I not? And we already knew that there were some things, new techniques, new therapeutic models, new things that we could try, along with the financial empowerment, and we have a peer recovery class we're establishing, we're building on, and I want to partner with we want to partner with some other agencies to really develop a peer recovery program for veterans and families, not just for the individual veteran.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of support mechanism we want to be. We don't want to take them anywhere. We want to guide them. We want to be the support for them to go on their own.
So you want to be able to connect them with peers, their other members of the military, that they can sort of talk about, maybe discuss what they're going through, and be just the support for one another.
Yeah, and one of the things that has been tried in many kind of therapeutic communities is that if you take the Vietnam veteran, and you can call PTSD anything you want to call it, but it's still the same thing. You take that Vietnam veteran and you put him together with an Afghan or Iraqi veteran, and they have a bond already established. So they can talk through these things. But, you know, and addressing the needs of the what was once our most prominent client, the Vietnam veterans, they still have needs.
Yes, yes.
That need to be addressed. And we feel like with the flexibility that we have within our whole structure, we can take the Vietnam veteran and address that need at the same time that we are also addressing some of the needs of that Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. It's the same kind of needs, they're just at different points in their life. They have different immediate needs. So, you know, if you have a wraparound services and it's not like a cookie cutter type of program, you can, when you wrap the services around, you can serve any veteran.
Wow, well, we've got much more I want to talk about with you all. Your new office in the Clarksville area, and we got an interesting story to share about that, and lots more with Operation Stand Down Tennessee. So stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.